What's going on, folks? Eddie here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I haven't posted a video in a while. I don't really like posting videos unless I have something going on. I've wanted to get the 124 finished up and tuned, but unfortunately, due to logistical errors, I have not been able to get myself down into the United States. So last time I was down there, for quite a spell. We were trying to get the car running, and yeah, it was a bit of a pain. But the reason I stayed down there so long trying to get the car working was simply the fact that, well, John's dog ate my passport. So I knew that when I came back up to Canada, it'd be a bit before I could get back down there. So yeah, John's dog ate my passport. My fault, I left my passport sitting out. But yeah, that was dumb. Anyhow, as far as the 124 goes, it ended up being okay anyways, because we had to order some parts. The engine came back out of the car while I was up in Canada. Reason being, well, it looks like the oil pump had some issues. So the car, when it's idling, when we opened the oil cap, it was pulsing. So there was this pulse of oil pressure coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And initially, thought was that it was the oil squirters, and maybe it has something to do with deleting the oil squirters, but the oil squirters in the multi-air engines don't actually do anything. They do not open until it's about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. So that means at idle there shouldn't be any pulsing. The next inclination was that, you know, it was an issue with the oil pump. So the engine is sitting on the floor, the oil pump is being replaced, and so are the oil squirters, just to be safe. After that's all done, we can put it back together. Now, these oiling issues, what it actually did was stopped us from making any horsepower. So the car had come up on power, and then due to inconsistent multi-air pressure, multi-air couldn't operate correctly. And yeah, the car had just basically come up on power and then flatline and stay there. It didn't matter how much boost we crammed into the engine, the valves weren't opening all the way and it wouldn't operate. So that's where we got stuck. So me being stuck in Canada, not really a huge deal. We've had to get some stuff anyways. So next week I'll have my passport and I'm gonna be heading back down and we're gonna finish up the 124. And yeah, that's where we're at. So we'll have 124 content soon. Once again, I really don't like posting videos without anything going on. It's, I don't think it's any fun for you folks, and I want you folks to like what you're watching. What am I driving right now? Well, I have my love for Fiats. I also have a love for the $1,000 car. So I bought myself another $1,000 car. So what is this fine automobile? This is a 1997 Mercedes C280. I bought it for 900 bucks on Craigslist. It has a few issues. The reason I got this is it's rear wheel drive. I figured it'd be a good idea to have just a beater rear wheel drive car, because I've wanted to learn how to drift for a while. John has wanted me to go drift a car for a while. And I don't want to drift the 124. I think that's what the cheaper cars are for. Anyhow, I figured this is rear wheel drive. Why not? Something to learn in. If I destroy it, that's fine. But before we do that, we're gonna do a couple things with this kind of car. I'm gonna show you folks what does it mean to buy a $1,000 beater and drive it. So I bought this car, and you're gonna come along as I fix it up and turn it into a car that you could use to drive on the street. We'll tally it all up when it's all done, and you'll see what it costs to go buy the $1,000 car and turn it into something that you can drive every day. After that, we'll beat the living piss out of it. But for now, it's fine. So the Mercedes C280, it's the Mini Merc. This is the car that came after the infamous 190e. That is the car that spurred on BMW to create the M3. The first M3 was the answer to the 190e Evolution, both of which are absolutely phenomenal cars. This is the car that came afterwards. Mercedes put a bunch of development time into these things, and what they created was the Mini Merc. It is the smallest rear-wheel drive Mercedes that you could buy at the time. I think it was probably just the smallest Mercedes you could buy at the time. So this is the C280. This is the biggest out of the class next to the AMG C36. This car is powered by a 2.8 liter inline 6. It is dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, and it makes about 194, 196 horsepower. This one has a couple issues that we need to fix. The main thing that's wrong with this car, and where we're gonna have to start, is I think it has a leaking fuel injector. The reason I think it has a leaking fuel injector is when you start the car first thing in the morning, it's absolutely fine. There's no problems at all. But if you drive it for a bit and then walk away for about 15 minutes, come back and try and start it, it's difficult to start. You'll get it on the second time, and the key to getting it on the second time is priming the fuel pump a couple times, and then it'll be absolutely fine. The other thing that's indicating this is when I pop open the oil dipstick, it smells like gasoline inside of the oil. When you have a leaking injector inside of the engine, when you shut the engine off, the fuel pressure that's in the fuel system starts leaking out of that leaking injector, and then it ends up sitting on top of your piston. Well, some of it evaporates away, but some of it just pours down through the sides of the piston walls because gasoline's pretty thin. It'll get down into your oil and then it stays there. So if your oil level's going up and your oil's starting to smell like gas, you could have a leaking injector. So we're gonna start by fixing that. This is the top of Mount Seymour. Yeah, not a bad way to spend your Sunday driving up here. It's not really for people like me. I don't know what they have up here for me, but I know the road up here is a lot of fun. Even if you can't drive it fast, it's a really nice road. It's probably a solid 15-minute drive up here, easily. I gotta say, this car's actually been a bit better than I thought it would. I don't know, what do you folks think? I kinda like it so far. Anyhow, next video will be the 124. But yeah, there'll be more videos of this car. Let me know what you think I should do with it in the comments below. Should I learn how to drift using this thing? Should I manual swap it? I wouldn't mind some boost on it. Inline 6s are meant to have boost, but I wanna know what you think. Leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Man, there's a lot of bugs up here. Good Lord.